Good morning, Misfits. Welcome to a special edition of the Misfit vlog. Over the course of the last 3 weeks, you guys have listened to me rant on about how regionals went, what the coach-athlete relationships were like there. That was one of the parts that we got a lot of positive feedback on from you. So what we did is we had Seth sit in front of the camera, Sherb, Gabe, all three of them sat in front of the camera, talked about it. A little bit of a warning, there's no real visual aid here, so treat this one a little bit more like a podcast maybe. Throw your headphones on, throw it on, kind of as some background stuff. So it's a little bit longer, but I think it's important to give you guys a glimpse into, how we see things, after, doing this for so long. So hope you guys enjoy it.
Hey guys, Seth from Misfit Athletics here. Just want to take a moment to talk to you guys about the last 3 weekends at regionals. A couple things that I noticed, things that I learned about other athletes and myself, some exciting points of the weekends. First thing I'll say is just I'm super excited for the athletes that qualified, got to the next level, and even the athletes that didn't, that learned something about themselves throughout the weekend. And there was quite a few of those that did. We had 40-something individuals there, and it's impossible to give all of your attention when there's 4 or 5 coaches to 43 people in 7 different locations, but we definitely did our best to spend some time with each of them, try to give them the advice that we thought would fit them best, make sure that they're warming up, things like that. I met a lot of athletes that I had only talked to online and never actually worked with in person, which was very cool. It's always exciting to see how receptive some of these athletes are to coaching, even if it's your first time meeting them. One in particular, Paul Castillo in the Central, week 2. I'd never met Paul in person, but we had gone back and forth since the Open, just about strategies, scores, what to expect in different workouts, just to try to. He would kind of bounce ideas off me, and I would tell him kind of this is what you should be shooting for, and didn't know a lot about him, didn't know a lot about his skills or capacity or strengths, and just kind of went with what he was confident with, tried to reinforce his confidence, and just make sure that he was as prepped and ready physically and mentally as possible for each event. And I wouldn't take any credit for his accomplishments. He did it all himself. However, he likes to talk in great length about how myself, Matt, and Gabe, just got him ready for each event, made sure he warmed up properly, something a lot of athletes are afraid to do, really warm up very well before an event. I don't know why athletes are still afraid to warm up, but they are. So we kind of forced him to do things he wouldn't maybe have done on his own, and maybe that gave him one extra tick of go out there, but most of it was him. It was just really great being able to be a part of what he was able to accomplish. From not knowing somebody to becoming very close with somebody in one weekend, and they continue to build that relationship. Is kind of what this company is all about. We're just kind of a platform for athletes to be able to showcase their talents and abilities, and when they need some help with growth, that's what we step in and do. And Paul's kind of been the poster child this season for that. Other really, really exciting moment for me, obviously all the athletes qualifying for the games, teams and individuals, is very exciting. One in particular, again, Mackenzie Riley, just started working with us basically right before the games last year when she was on a team. She had never made an individual push. This year she decided she was going to work with us and go all in individually. She had moved to a new region, working with new coaches. I put her through the ringer, she put me through the ringer all year long. We both learned a lot from each other. And she was able to really go down and battle with some very, very tough female competition down in the Atlantic region, and took 3rd overall, so she medaled her first time being an individual. Pretty exciting to see that kind of growth in 1 year. It really doesn't so much reflect on us as it reflects on the hard work that the athletes that come to us to get help, usually that kind of work ethic is already built in. People know our reputation for, being kind of Metcon heavy-ish in our programming. We prioritize intensity. We talk about just kind of grinding, going out there, putting the work in, along with many other things that go into it. But she's, again, willing to always put the work in. If she thinks she comes up with an excuse, she bounces it off me, and I explain to her why her excuse is invalid, and then she gets back to work. And it's been a very good year with her, and it was very rewarding to see that both of our efforts were not for nothing. So she really accomplished a lot. I was very happy for her. The one thing that I really would like to talk about and kind of highlight in this entry is just kind of what I learned about myself and about the sport. I was one who I've been coaching the sport for quite a few years now, and I kind of thought I had a good grasp on what was going to happen, predict the athletes that were the sure thing, definitely too quick to count athletes out and say, you don't have a chance of getting to this level yet, just making assumptions that aren't necessarily true. And I've never been more wrong in my life when it comes to CrossFit. Just athletes that really you may consider almost lower tier regional level athletes that maybe you wouldn't even consider going to the games. Both athletes that we've worked with and athletes that we haven't worked with made big pushes this year, and some of them actually got through and made it to the games. Some of them were right on the bubble of making it. They were just some unbelievable performances from athletes that you would not have even talked about. And it's not that we were the only ones that missed out. I mean, they were never even mentioned in games update shows. No other coaches are talking about them. They have no presence on social media through another outlet or even themselves. Just athletes creeping up and being able to do things on the stage that they may not showcase in the gym as well, or they may not put out there to the world. But long story short, I'm done discounting anybody. If you think you can make a push to regionals through the Open, then I'm going to support you all the way from working with you, making that push through the Open and trying to get to regionals. If you fall short, so be it, whatever. If your goal is truly getting through the Open and getting to regionals, even if way down in the back of my head I think it may be nearly impossible, I'll push that aside and just kind of accept the anything is possible sort of mentality until something goes horribly wrong, and then it's clear that your season's over. But if you have a fighting chance in any way, shape, or form, I can't discount that anymore. I've just seen it too many times. Our own Max Bragg at our affiliate, I made the crucial error of making a joke to him before 17-1. He asked me to set up my camera to film his workout, and I just gave him a look like, really? You want me to set up the camera? What do you need the video for? Totally out of line, insulting. However, it's fair to say that not a single person, including Max, expected him to get through the Open to regionals and then to compete at such a high level at regionals. I think he shocked himself, and he shocked every single person here. I know there isn't a person who would willingly stake money on his performance, just because he doesn't get the same opportunities to train as the people get to the next level, and he's in the toughest region in the world, hands down, to qualify. But proved everybody wrong. Finished just below the 21st mark, but enough people went team that he got a slot in there. And then after event one, he's in third place behind Matt Frazier and Pat Bellner, probably the two top CrossFitters in the world. So pretty amazing to see that anyone has a chance that's willing to fight. Don't discount anybody, whether it's through the Open, whether it's through regionals, and even at the games, how high they want to place at the games. Like, you may feel as a coach that it's a crazy pipe dream and you don't think they're ready and you don't think they've prepared as well as others, but who knows, they could be saving that performance for game day. And so now I have to reevaluate what I think is possible for each of the athletes that I know and work with, and just basically be an open canvas and just decide, if every one of you wants to go to regionals, then we'll help every one of you to regionals. And if some of you fall way, way, way short, so be it. We'll work on what you need to train for the next year. But to just write somebody off is a mistake that I've made too often, and it's not going to happen anymore. Even if I truly believe it in the back of my head, I'm not going to let it stop my efforts towards helping that athlete to do what they want to accomplish, and I'll never show it to them. So pretty eye-opening experience for me, somebody who's been coaching athletes for almost 8 years in this sport now. To have kind of a revelation this far along in the game, it's going to help me really think about how I approach things for next season. So kind of cool, and that's the biggest thing I took away from regionals and the Open this year.
Hey guys, Matt from Misfit, talk about the post-regionals recap. We're going to go through week by week and talk about some of the events and some of the things that happened and kind of give our thoughts on it, so you'll see one from all of us. Week one, the most exciting moment, probably be Cody qualifying for the games. Been training with Cody since 2013 when I got here, and he just moved up to Portland, so to see him go from someone who really wanted to go but maybe didn't understand what it took, really go from like being so young and just being ambitious to actually putting in the work, and then having some struggles along the way where he had to go on the team because he didn't qualify individual, and then was he going to get in, and he did what he needed to this year, and it's like, did Cody do enough going into regionals to get it done? So that was pretty exciting to see. Most challenging moment was just trying to pay attention to all the athletes equally. I mean, it was really cool to be in the East and have 5 people from our gym qualify and be there, and trying to help all of them individually, but they're all competing against each other. So the challenging is trying to give everyone the equal amount of attention and not feel like you're giving one person too much and someone else not enough. It's hard to celebrate Cody's success without making Austin feel too bad. I know he was really close, so learn something about dealing with a little bit of adversity as a coach, because you don't want to get too high. If someone right there is like knocking on the door and be like, oh man, it's so great that you're going, but you're not, sorry. So for the most part, I think coaching as a profession gets kind of overhyped. I think a big part of what we're there for is just to talk with athletes, and sometimes people want to come up to us and think we have like a magic potion to like help you qualify or help you do this in an event, but we're here just to kind of steer you in that right direction. So that's kind of what I've gained from that. This is the year I went to the most regionals I ever have, so to really feel what that feels like, to be like, all right, I'm going to get you warmed up and talk to you about a couple things in the workout, but it's up to you to execute, and just helping someone put them in that situation so they can execute was really all my role was the entire time. So excited to be a part of it, but at the same time, it's you think about how you can help the athlete, and you don't want to say too much or say too little. That was kind of the part that I kind of learned as a coach. Going into week one, taking it to 2 and 3. Week 2, most exciting moment was watching them call Paul's name as the winner of the Central Regional. That was pretty exciting. I haven't met many people that can say they're going to do something in like a plan and stick to it and be as successful as they were. Paul told us a couple times that he was going to do something in a workout, and we're like, yeah, I know, but what, when you get tired, you got to be ready to do this, or audible to that, and nah, I'm good, I know what I'm doing. To watch him do that and say he wanted something and then just go out and taking it, which was not many athletes can just say, hey, I'm going to go do this and then do it. Watching Paul do that is probably the most exciting part of that second week. Watching Dex's team with the worms kind of challenging, I guess. I don't have too much that was challenging. I know those guys went in there with the expectation of challenging Mayhem's team for the top spot, and they had some adversity go their way, but it was exciting to watch them do that 125 chest to bar, 100 toe to bar, 100 overhead squat workout, and kind of show you what they're all about. So if I could find a way to get everyone to treat a warm-up and a pre-event piece like Paul did. I mean, I've never seen someone so focused. So if I can personally help someone dial in that same amount of focus, I feel like that'd be as successful. So week 3, most exciting moment. Oh, what was it? Oh, what happened week 3? Oh, Mackenzie qualified. That was pretty cool. To watch her take the final event, being kind of on the edge there. Was she going to qualify? Is she not? Watching her with the confidence to know that she's going to go in and smash that workout, get on that bike, hammer it out in like 8 seconds, 50 seconds, something like that. Take a leap ahead of the girls and then just watch her steadily march ahead of them the entire time was really cool. To see an athlete you have that's in a workout and it's in their wheelhouse, that's just so cool to watch happen, to see them just get a workout they want and then crush it. So that was really cool. Most challenging moment was probably after event 4. I know Mackenzie wasn't stoked on the performance with the handstand walk and the kettlebells and the toes to bar. It just looked like the grip started to go, but she did a really good job staying calm, even though maybe I wasn't as calm. I was like, oh shit, what is happening right now? I guess that would kind of segue into what I learned about coaching, is the one thing as a coach, you have to appear level-headed and calm the entire time. You don't want to get too high or too low. So, it's something that I'm still guilty of, is celebrating success or like, oh god damn it, we're screwed. So I think that she actually taught me a thing or two about being level-headed and, you know, like sticking to their game plan and like things are going to be okay. So I'd say that's the biggest thing I learned in week 3. Looking forward to the games and seeing you guys all next year at regionals. See ya.
Hey guys, it's Gabe here with the regionals recap vlog. I just wanted to talk about my trip down to the South region. I personally went down there to coach Rachel Campbell and Jess Alavet and had a lot of fun and definitely learned a lot. First thing I want to talk about is the most exciting moment that I had down there. Probably the most exciting moment both for Jess and Rachel was event 2. Everybody kind of got the nerves out on event 1 and then in event 2 a lot of the stuff that, especially with Rachel because I've been working with her longer, that we worked on in terms of pacing and transition and not spending any time wasted in a workout really came together. And they took second and third on that workout, and it was a really good jumping off point for them for the weekend. They ended the day in really good spots, and I think for both of them they realized that they both really belonged there. They both were high-level competitors, and they were there to fight for a potential game spot rather than just to show up and participate. So that was a really cool moment to end the first day. Probably the most challenging moment that I experienced over the weekend was certainly when Rachel couldn't continue on the event 3. She tore her bicep in event 3 and could not continue on the rope climbs. And it was just challenging to see an athlete work really, really hard, do every little thing that you said to prepare, and then something that's out of their control happens and there's nothing really you can do about it. So it was hard, challenging from a coaching standpoint because it's hard to know what to say to somebody when they've gone through all that, put in all that work, and then it's just heartbreaking when you can't continue on. And so it definitely had me thinking a lot, walking away from regionals in terms of dealing with moments like that in a difficult situation in a competition. I think the answer to that is always support, but saying the right thing is a difficult thing to know how to do. As far as what I learned from regionals, I really learned a lot about competitor mindset. We got a chance to work with so many people down in the South. It's, obviously we had a lot of followers there, and we had a lot of people qualify. People that I've never worked with before, that I'd seen their scores or knew who they were, but never got a chance to work with them. And the mindset of today's regional competitor, the athletes have matured so much. And if you show up to regionals or you show up to a big competition and you have an ounce of doubt about your abilities or your thinking you shouldn't be there, then you've already lost. And actually I saw this a little bit with Alexis throughout the weekend. When she finally realized that it didn't matter in terms of how she did compared to what her expectations were, it just mattered that she went out and worked hard and did what she knew she could do. That's when she really succeeded. And when I saw people like Kurt go at workouts where he had no expectations, he just showed up and he wanted to just go hard, and he did everything that we said in terms of game plan, and worked with him really well in terms of setting him up to know his abilities and push a little bit, but not bite off more than he could chew. And he had confidence, he came off, he had fun, and he had a really good showing. And then you saw other athletes around that were just looked like a deer in headlights. They didn't know what they were doing. They looked nervous, and of course they went out there and they didn't execute. They didn't go do what was according to their plan, and had poor workouts. So that's probably the biggest thing I learned in terms of preparing people to compete, is preparing them with that mindset and that confidence that you can do it, type of thing. And I think that goes a lot. You do that a lot with the workouts that you program for people, and then obviously the encouragement or the analysis of their results. So really cool 3 weeks of regionals for me. Super excited for those moving on to the games, and super excited for those who are back to training for next season. So thanks guys, I'll talk to you later. Can you say hi to everybody? Say hi. No? Are you scared? This is Brennan. This is my youngest son, and this is the reason I had to not go hang out with Mackenzie. But he says hi. Hi.
All right, guys, that was the special edition Coaches Recap vlog. Hope you enjoyed it. As always, please subscribe to our channel, like, comment, let us know what you like about the vlog, maybe even what you don't like about the vlog, that's fine too. And we'll get back to normal content now.